You so much, Jamie, and thank you to the Corporate Board Member Magazine and Chief Executive Group for having us here today. And so we're going to jump right in and talk about something that we talk a lot about at NxtWork, which is meaningful engagement. So we just, and you encapsulated it, Jamie, in your introduction. But when we talk about meaningful engagement at NxtWork, in order to achieve diversity with speed and scale, what we're really talking about is having diverse leaders take a chunk of strategy and have a leadership role with it, and really going to that diverse leaders area of strength and a need for the company. So, Agnes, I think, and Jamie's intro was perfect for this. You are a perfect example of this. So I want to ask you, can you talk a little bit about how your leadership and knowledge in the privacy, digital transformation, cybersecurity area has helped your ability to guide boards, not just on data issues, but for enterprise opportunity and risk all around?
Sure. And again, thank you for having me. This is a great opportunity to talk with people and also learn, which is what we all want to do. In terms of my area, I was one of the bank's first chief privacy officers back before Graham Leach Bliley. And learning about that, creating that program as a banker, working in privacy over the past several decades has really helped me see the evolution of a topic, of an area, of an industry focus. I also helped to create the International Association of Privacy Professionals back in 2000 as its first chair and served on the board for 8 years. It's now an organization of 75,000 plus. We started with about 75 of us. And so that work has helped me also be in the boardroom. I think many of us, before we became board members, we served on maybe not-for-profit boards in leadership positions. So certainly that was very helpful to me. And we've seen how privacy, the topic of privacy, has imploded to include many other facets, many other tentacles, AI, machine learning, digital transformation, technology in general, all have privacy components in many, many, many different industries. So for me, I try to bring my experiences to the boardroom as a thought leader, but also to ask those challenging questions of management from an oversight perspective. I'm a sort of a curiosity person and junkie in terms of learning more and hearing more. And we were just talking before this began, how do we ferret all of this information that comes at us? How do we figure out how to use it to help our boards and our companies? And I think sessions like this, I think for me, I just came to this conversation having been at a conference with the Future of Privacy Forum over the past couple of days. We thought we were going to talk about one topic, but it became a topic on AI. Certainly the IAPP, as you well know, as a board member and its new AI initiative, those are all the types of educational and education awareness opportunities for board members that help us stay engaged and help us keep relevant and able to bring that learning to management and the board. I try to come back from these types of conversations, share a quick email with relevant management, with relevant board members, documents that I receive that are allowed to be shared. I bring it back to my board. So that's what I try to do in terms of staying apprised of topics, staying relevant, helping management on all matters, including this particular topic.
And that is so important, Agnes. As you said, I was at Davos in January, and they talked about the commercialization of ChatGPT-4, about the expected AI spend globally of being 800 billion. I think we're going to be at 1 trillion this year globally in terms of AI development, and it's so great to be able to have someone such as yourself guiding and helping to pose the right questions. Christine, as a CEO of your own Web 3.0 company, Zappa, and a former CEO of Scalar cloud company in Silicon Valley and a board member yourself. How do you pave the way for leadership on your team?
Well, not to overcomplicate it, but to me, where all of this starts is by looking in the mirror. We all have big roles, whether you're a CEO or board member or whatever. How do you show up? How do I show up? How do we show up individually? What kind of energy do we bring into the room? What kind of role model do we set in terms of showing up prepared and having the right kinds of soft skills in the room, knowing the right way to engage and get the best out of people. So I think it's really hard to expect great leadership out of anybody else if you aren't showing up that way, and then modeling it for people. But then once you do that, for me, it's as simple as giving people who have demonstrated the ability to lead chances to lead. Like, just give people big opportunities, expect them to take on big roles and help them if they need it, but otherwise get out of the way. And I think as leaders, that's one of the best things we can do, whether you're on a board or in the C-suite, is give people opportunities to actually lead something.
I love what you said there, Christine, about giving people opportunities to lead. And it's so important to, in that leadership role, and when we're talking about meaningful engagement, for those opportunities to be in an area of importance to the enterprise that's really core to strategy and its future. And I was thinking about what you said in terms of opportunities to lead, and in terms of, could a company achieve meaningful engagement by doing as they're doing, refining their board matrices, seeing what's missing, and identifying new talent in the new verticals that they might realize they need. For example, if you're on a board and you realize, whoa, we're going to be getting involved in AI here, and we really need somebody with a background, or we're broaching into Web 3.0, how do we tackle that? Christine, you're there, Agnes, you're on the AI, or we want to get into virtual worlds. With that idea of marrying the meaningful engagement with diverse talent with an emerging area of critical importance to the enterprise, perhaps provide an opportunity or a vehicle to usher in fresh talent. So, Christine, what are your thoughts?
Well, I think those are the perfect places, because anything that is new, Web 3.0 is still relatively new. AI, generative AI, not old AI, but generative AI is extremely new. All of these topics, there is no expert on it. We're all learning at the same time. So you can put anybody who's smart and capable in charge of pulling together a team, figuring out a plan, defining what success looks like, and then helping to align resources to do it. That's just good leadership. You don't have to be an expert in the topic. And giving somebody a chance to step up, giving a diverse candidate within your organization at whatever level the chance to step up and lead something like that on the leading edge, they're not at a disadvantage because they're not an expert, because nobody's an expert yet. So they can learn right along with everybody else. It's the exact perfect place to do it.